Hello, and welcome to the FY 2026 Centers of Excellence for Veteran Student Success Pre-Application webinar. I'm Ashley Hillary, the Competition Manager for CEVSS. Thanks for taking time to watch. In this recording, I'll walk you through what the program is about, what matters most in the 2026 competition, and practical steps for submitting a complete and competitive application in grants.gov. Feel free to pause or revisit sections as you plan your proposal. My goal today is to help you understand the essentials so you can focus your time on building a strong, compliant application that truly serves veteran students on your campus. Please keep in mind that the application notice and instructions, also known as the ANI, published in the Federal Register is your official guide. This webinar is technical assistance. If anything here differs from the ANI wins. Please use the ANI as your primary reference while drafting and finalizing your application. Here's the path we'll follow today. We will start off with program information and the governing regulations, the EdDOL partnership and workforce readiness, the FY 2026 competition overview, eligibility, priorities, selection criteria, performance measures, and submission steps. I'll close us out with dates, resources, and how to contact me. To set the stage, I'll briefly cover what the program is and the authorities that shape how we run this competition. This context will help as you design your Center of Excellence and write to the selection criteria. The CEVSS program helps institutions build model programs that coordinate academic, financial, physical, and social supports to veteran students so that veteran students can succeed in post-secondary education. It's administered by the Department of Labor's Employment and Training Administration on behalf of the Department of Education and aligns with America's talent strategy and the administration's reindustrialization agenda. The March 16, 2026 Dear Colleague letter outlines the EdDOL partnership behind this effort. A helpful tip is in the narrative, show how your model coordinates services seamlessly and drives measurable success for veterans. The CEVSS program is governed by several statutes, regulations, and administrative requirements, including Title 20 of the U.S. Code, 34 CFR Parts 75 through 99, the Uniform Guidance, and the debarment and suspension rules. Applicants should carefully review all authority referenced in the ANI. CEVSS sits within a broader EdDOL partnership that links what the students learn to the careers they pursue. Your center should make those linkages visible and actionable for veterans. Through this partnership, we support educational programming tied directly to career success. Another helpful tip, show how your center will connect campus services to regional employers, workforce boards, and veteran-serving partners, so veterans have clear pathways into quality jobs. Workforce readiness in this competition emphasizes in-demand, high-wage, high-skill occupations, industry-recognized and skill-based credentials, work-based learning, which include internships, pre-apprenticeships, and registered apprenticeships. In addition, AI literacy and responsible use. Improved completion, employment, earnings, and mobility, and employer-driven pathways with measurable labor market outcomes. Another helpful note is reviewers respond well to concrete linkages. Spell out the steps veterans will take from enrollment to credential to employment. Let's go over some important dates, the funding opportunity number, and where to find official materials and FAQs. The Annie was published May 21st, 2026, with a deadline of June 23rd, 2026. Download the application in grants.gov using ed-grant-26-031. The FAQs are posted on the CEVSS website under Resources. It is important to note the Annie on grants.gov is the official submission document. The period to apply is May 21st to June 23rd, 2026. The estimated available funds total $9 million, and awards will range from $1.5 million to $3 million with a 36-month project period. And about 4 awards are anticipated. And funding is front-loaded. There are 2 priorities for this competition, one absolute, which is establishing a CEVSS center, and one optional competitive preference priority, which focuses on career pathways and workforce readiness. Another helpful tip, if you choose to address the competitive preference, be explicit about how it elevates outcomes for veterans. For the CEVSS program, there are no cost sharing or matching requirements. Supplement, not supplant, does not apply, which means this program does not support supplement, not supplanting funding. The program uses an unrestricted indirect cost rate, and is important for grantees to know that subgrants are not permitted. Your institution must directly carry out all project activities. Beyond the required activities in the absolute priority, funds may support outreach and recruitment, instructional services such as counseling, tutoring, and academic skill building, assistance with special admissions, and transfer of credits, and help obtaining financial aid. Another helpful tip, connect each funded activity to a specific veteran need and outcome measure. You may also provide housing support, orientation, and cultural programming to ease the transition to campus life, support veteran student organizations, coordinate with military bases and National Guard units, and offer other services necessary for veterans to achieve their educational and career goals. Next is eligibility. Who can apply? For eligibility, this competition is limited to institutions of higher education, or IHEs, as defined in Section 100 of the Higher Education Act of 1965, as amended. That's Title 20 of the U.S. Code 10001. Now let's cover the required absolute priority and the optional competitive preference priority. To be considered, you must establish a center of excellence as a single point of contact coordinating comprehensive veteran support, and establish a veteran student support team with representatives from admissions, registration, financial aid, veterans benefits, advising, student health, mental health counseling, career services, disability services, and other relevant offices. Another helpful note, reviewers need to see named roles and clear coordination mechanisms. You must also assign a coordinator whose primary responsibility is to run the model program. monitor veterans' enrollment, persistence, and completion, and present a plan to sustain the center after the grant ends. Another helpful tip, put sustainability on paper. Staffing commitments, institutional funding, policies, and partnerships that persist. For this competition, there's only one optional competitive preference priority that is worth up to 10 points for the projects that provide career or in college exploration and advising, and give students financial tools to compare costs and benefits of options, especially earnings versus debt across pathways. It's important to tie advising to data-informed choices and document the tools you use. You can also support workforce programs aligned with state priorities, promoting in-demand, high-value, industry-recognized credentials, and post-secondary options include registered apprenticeships. Now let's move on to the scoring backbone, what reviewers read and score. Peer reviewers score your application strictly against the selection criteria. Organize your narrative to mirror those criteria, answering each sub-criterion directly with clear evidence. Headings that match the criteria help reviewers locate and score your content accurately. The score breakdown is as follows. Need 10 points, significance 10 points, quality of the project 40 points, adequacy of resources 25, and quality of project evaluation 15, for a total of up to 100 points. A helpful tip is weight your page space where the points are. Quality of the project is 40% of your score. Now we'll discuss the need for the project. This section is worth, again, up to 10 points. You want to show the magnitude of need for veterans at your institution and identify specific gaps your project will address. Then connect services and infrastructure to closing those gaps. Use recent and credible data. An helpful tip, you want to ask yourself, what barriers do veterans face? How are those different from other students? Where are the services or infrastructure gaps? How will activities close them? Are our data sources current and credible? Why is now the right time to act? Up next, we have significance, which is worth up to 10 points. Here, you want to explain how your project creates systemic, sustainable improvement. Think beyond a pilot and show how your approach will change institutional practice for veterans long term. Clarify what's innovative or more effective about your model, how it strengthens existing strategies, the measurable improvements you expect, and how you'll document and share lessons, and the mechanisms, staffing, systems, collaboration, that will institutionalize success after the grant. Next, we have the quality of the project design. This is worth up to 40 points. In this section, you want to demonstrate a clear rationale aligned to CEVSS. Show meaningful engagement with veteran-serving partners and stakeholders, and design for capacity building and sustainability beyond the project. Highlight the qualifications of the project director and key staff, and the likelihood that your services will increase veterans' skills and competencies for high-quality improvement or independent living. It is important to note, be specific about roles, deliverables, and the experience that maps to your target population. Some questions to ask when you're working on the quality of project design. Do our goals, strategies, and activities connect logically to measurable outcomes? How will ongoing stakeholder input from continuous improvement inform continuous improvement? What capacity, staffing, systems, policies will persist after funding? Up next, we have the adequacy of resources, which is worth up to 25 points. In this section, you want to show that your institution has facilities, equipment, supplies, and organizational support to deliver services at the promised depth and intensity. The costs are reasonable and relative to the number served and expected results, and that the benefits can be institutionalized. You want to ask yourself, do we have the right staffing and infrastructure in place? Are cost justifications clear? What's our plan to sustain key components post-award? Helpful tip, connect your budget to outcomes. Reviewers look for value, not just line items. Finally, we have the quality of the project evaluation. This section is worth up to 15 points. And in this section, you should present thorough, feasible, relevant methods aligned to goals, include checks for fidelity of implementation, and use findings for quality assurance and continuous improvement. You want to consider, how will we measure whether we achieved intended outcomes? How will we know activities occurred as designed with the right intensity? How will evaluation findings inform decisions and mid-course corrections during the project? Now that we have addressed the selection criteria, we will now move on to the performance measures. And these are reported on annually. You'll report the extent of institutionalization at the end of the project. The number and percentage of veteran participants who enroll, persist, and complete, and the federal cost per successful outcome. It is important to set up data systems early, clean, because it makes reporting smoother and supports your evaluation. As for reporting requirements, grantees submit an annual performance report responsive to the measures and a final report at the project end. Multi-year awards require annual performance and expenditure updates. In some cases, more frequent reporting can be required. And to ensure your systems comply with Title II CFR Part 170. Next, we will discuss how and what to submit. Your package includes the SF424 and ED supplemental information, the SF424A, the abstract, the project narrative, the budget narrative, narratives for the absolute priority and competitive preference priority, and all required assurances and certifications, including lobbying forms. Please double check that every required attachment is present and properly labeled before submission. The first attachment we'll discuss is the SF424 and supplemental. Complete all applicant information, including the UEI number that matches your SAM registration. Don't attach narratives to the SF424 itself. Completing the SF424 first helps grants.gov populate program details across forms automatically. Next, you have the budget information, which is the SF424A, Section A. In this section, you will enter the program name, the assistant's listing number, total federal funds for the full period, and any non-federal amounts if applicable. Grants.gov will auto-calculate certain fields. Next, we have Section B. Here you will provide details for personnel, fringe, travel, equipment, and supplies. Keep equipment thresholds and capitalization rules in mind. Supplies should be directly necessary for the proposed activities. We're still in Section B. Under contractual, you want to include costs incurred through your internal systems. Consultants via written binding agreement belong here. Construction isn't authorized. Use other for direct costs not captured elsewhere. Be clear and avoid counting items covered by indirects. We're still in Section B, and this is the total direct cost, which is 6I. This sums up your categories. Indirect 6J reflects your approved rate, and total cost equals direct plus indirect should match the SF424. Program income can be left blank. As for sections C and D, complete section C, the non-federal resources, only if you propose cost share. In section D, enter quarterly federal cash needs for year 1. Grants.gov will sum totals automatically. Now for the abstract. Keep the abstract type. Include the applicant institution, project title, which priority or priorities you address, key activities and objectives, and expected outcomes. Reviewers use the abstract to get oriented with the application. The project narrative you will attach as a single document and follow the order of the selection criteria. Ed recommends limiting the narrative to no more than 65 pages. The limit doesn't apply to the cover sheet, budget, materials, assurances, resumes, bibliography, or letters of support. In the budget narrative, provide a clear justification for each cost category aligned with the SF424A Section E totals. Include an itemized breakdown and explain how amounts were estimated: personnel, fringe, travel, supplies, consultants and subcontracts, indirects, and other program expenditures. List staff by title and with roles, annual salaries, time devoted, and grant-funded amounts. For travel, specified purpose, number of travelers, per diem, mileage, trip counts, and total estimates. For equipment, list items expected to cost $10,000 plus per unit. Detailed supplies. General office items and specific items like desks, laptops, or printers with quantity and unit costs when appropriate. Include contractual costs procured via your system. Construction isn't authorized, and use other for direct costs not covered elsewhere, such as space rental, required fees, honoraria, training, communications, printing, or stipends. This program uses unrestricted indirect cost rate. If you need a negotiated rate or plan to use a temporary or de minimis, consult Ed and the uniform guidance references cited. Present total cost as direct plus indirect and keep forms and narratives consistent. Ed staff will conduct a cost analysis to confirm costs relate to activities and objectives and are reasonable, allowable, and allocable. Costs can be adjusted during the review. Tips for applicants. Tie every cost line to a specific activity and outcome. Clarity reduces the chance of reduction and confusion. A few tips. Right size your budget to your project. Don't exceed maximum award amounts. Expect reviewers to assess relevance and appropriateness and program staff to review allowability. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. My contact information will be provided at the end. Applications must be submitted in grants.gov. Uploading takes time, so submit several days before the deadline, which is June 23rd, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. If you run into issues, use grants.gov support channels listed in the application materials. It is recommended to register early. 7 to 10 business days is typical. You can draft while registering, but you cannot submit until registration is complete and active. After submitting, log in and track my application. A successful submission will show a received time before 11:59 p.m. on June 23rd, 2026, with a status such as validated or received by agency. If status is rejected with errors, the application was not received successfully, and is advised that you resolve and resubmit if time allows. It is important to note that late applications cannot be considered. All right, some important dates to keep in mind. Again, the application opened May 21st, 2026. It will close June 23rd, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the application period. Awards will be announced September 30th, 2026, and new awards start October 1st, 2026. You can find all resources on the CEVSS program page. The Annie is available on grants.gov. You have links to Edgar, the uniform guidance, Ed's grant technical assistance, and online grants training in the resources section of your materials. Use these links as your main references while you're finalizing your application. If you have any questions after reviewing the Annie and the FAQs, please reach out. Again, I am Ashley Hillary, the competition manager. My email address is ashley.hillary@ed.gov. My phone number is 202-205-4551. I'm happy to help you put forward the strongest possible application. For common questions, check the CEVSS FAQs on the program page. If you need more detail, send me a note and I will point you to the most relevant guidance. Thank you for your interest in the Centers of Excellence for Veteran Student Success Program and for your commitment to serving veterans. I appreciate the work you're doing and I look forward to reviewing your application.